Hey guys, it's Todd from Like-Minded Lunatics bringing you, yes, another drink, play, swear. It's all we do around here. Actually, when Morpheus took us to go see the Oracle, it ends up it's all I was supposed to do around here. I'm not the chosen one. Hey, hit that subscribe button. Welcome back to Like-Minded Lunatics. Whoa. Welcome back to Like-Minded Lunatics and to Drink, Play, Swear. Hit that subscribe button. Bang, it's right there so we can see how big this family of weirdos, degenerates, and runaways is getting. We know it's getting bigger every day, and we're excited about that. Lots of good stuff on the channel, not just the Drink, Play, Swears with me. You also got, what, the Like-Minded Lunatics Try? Yeah, it's me and my buddies trying and scoring frozen food TV dinners. Check out the most recent one right there. My buddy Gibby came by, Gilbo Baggins, my friend Gilbert, he came over, Gibson Von Gesco, he came over and he didn't come over, we was on Zoom, but we got together and we had some TV dinners. It was a good time. Hot Pockets. Hot Pockets. Okay, what are we playing today? Hey man, long time ago on the channel, like when the channel was new, that is the Drink, Play, Swear component to the channel, I played Mortal Kombat 11. You wanna go check that one out? That was a pretty good story. I got to thinking, there's a ton of Mortal Kombat games I haven't played on the channel, so let's start at the beginning. Let's get a little Mortal Kombat going, and this is from the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. I gotta be honest with you, it was my choice. As a kid, I was one of those rare individuals who had both a Sega Genesis and a Super Nintendo. Most of the time I preferred the Super Nintendo version of things, and I'm gonna have to go with the Super Nintendo version. I know, controversial, because there was no blood in this one, but you know what? Like, better sound, better gameplay, I think better everything else. And you're still killing each other. It's just not red. Okay, that's fine. Let me see if I can pause this thing, because I haven't even gotten to the beverage yet, have I? What do we do here at Drink? There's no pause. What do we do here at Drink, Play, Swear? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. I'm gonna play while I introduce the show. It's exactly what it sounds like. We play a game, usually a classic one. Today it is. I pair it with a beverage, and eventually I tell you a story. Doing stuff out of order today, but who cares? I don't even remember the moves. I haven't played in a while. But I remember it's not all that, there we go. Come here. Not all that complicated. And I'm going with a classic today. You know me and the classics. I love me some classics. Going with the Jim Beam and Coke. Get yourself something. Sub-Zero. Everyone loved to be Sub-Zero, and that's why I liked being Scorpion. Because you don't want everybody fighting to, can I do it? No. Nope. I don't think I even remember how to do the fatality. Wasn't that amazing? We've talked about Mortal Kombat before in the violent video game trend of the 90s. This was just the big one though, right? This is the one, mostly the reason for the rating system in video games, and thankfully that has calmed down parent concerns. And I mean, now these days that, video games have been around long enough that it's like parents, sometimes grandparents, playing these things, so they're less concerned with them being kid-friendly, right? I love how in Mortal Kombat 1 they haven't fixed all of the like easy cheats, like you can just do this punch all day. Isn't that nice? And then you can just sweep the leg a million times. Isn't that neat? And then I don't know why I can't remember how to do the. Well, we'll see if I can get it. Let's get to the story today, Todd. What kind of story are you talking about? What are you saying today? What do you do? What do you say there, Todd? I won't do that accent anymore, I'm sorry. Okay, so Mortal Kombat, it's a fighting game, right? Well, I thought of this game partially because today I wanted to talk to you about my first fist fight. That's right, the first fight I was ever in as a kid. Lots of us have these stories. Sometimes they've been overblown out of proportion. I will try my best to give you the honest assessment and the true version of what happened. But first, a little context. In junior high, everything changes at school. You go from grade school, first through fifth grade, it being fun, and all of you are kind of all in the same group together. And maybe you had a best friend or a couple of friends you were closer with, but there wasn't anything that you would consider social status or things like this, right? And 8-year-olds, don't know how to be, nasty, awful people yet. But you get to junior high, and what happens? Sonia, leave me alone. You get to junior high, and all of a sudden, what? The athletes start showing up. You start seeing, oh, I remember going from fifth grade to sixth grade and realizing, oh, like, there are kids playing basketball who, like, are really trying, like, doing layups, like, professional style layups and stuff. Oh, look, you can pause here. And with that comes status. Now, all of a sudden, there are kids who are more popular than others. And if you're not going to be the most popular kid, you at least want to get yourself into a group, because what's worse than being thought of as a nerd is being like a nobody, right? So you're like trying to find your group. Well, I was good friends with a couple of guys who were into what we called alternative music at the time. The funny thing was, we'd go to the CD store and the whole store was alternative. It's like, alternative to what? But, these days they call it grunge, they call it rock, hard rock, heavy metal, all of these labels, but it was all the same to us. And so I got into this group of guys who were kind of rock and roll kids wearing heavy metal t-shirts and stuff. And the label they were given at my school was the Stoners, okay? I assume referring to drug use, but I got to be honest with you, because I was labeled a stoner, I would have, jocks, football players and stuff coming up to me and being like, hey man, you got any cocaine? I'm like, dude, I've never even seen cocaine. Like, what? No, I don't know anything about this. But right, it was better to be in a group than no group at all. You wanted to be noticed and you wanted to feel like you fit in. But I'm getting to the point here. There was another group I was a part of, inevitable label. I was in marching band, concert band, jazz band. And so I was a band nerd, right? Band nerd. How do you throw the lightning again when you're raiding? I can't remember. Can you remember? I remember this. Sonya beat me. So I was a band nerd, right? Pretty hard to hide that because you're the one marching and at all the pep rallies, and so you just embrace it. But there were like 3 or 4, heavy metal kids who were also in band. We liked music, so it wasn't so bad. All right, I love this. Ready?
Fatality.
Yeah. No blood. I know. But they corrected it for Mortal Kombat 2, Super Nintendo, extra bloody. Oh, I don't even remember what I'm supposed to be hitting. Band nerd. All right, so I was always like, so there were 2 bands. My school was big enough that there were 2 concert bands. There was what you called the blue band, and there was the gold band, okay? I can't remember which way it goes. I think the gold band was better, which makes sense. Let's say that is true. I'm not sure it is. But there were 2 bands, and there was a band for the seniors and all the really talented kids, and then there was a band for like either the kids who were struggling or just like never practiced and didn't care. So I was always in between. So I was either last chair in first band or I was first chair in second band. And so as a result, it was just drastically different in terms of what kind of stuff you were playing and how seriously people were taking it. And so, in the second band, you're just sitting there doing scales and you can't expect much. Over in first band, they're talking about UIL competition. They're talking about getting serious, solos and all these things. They're listening to classic recordings of these songs and trying to get inspiration for their playing. And in the second band, I'll give you an example of what would go on in second band. My buddy, who was a tuba player, okay, and the tubas are sitting in the back, he'd sit there with Skull Mint in his lip and he'd just spit directly into his tuba. And then at the end of class, you just empty a spit valve, this black gunk all over that carpet, that indoor-outdoor carpet that you'd have. That spittle puddle, that was second band, okay? So on one such occasion, I'm in second band, first chair, second band, no big deal. We have a chair test, and that's you go around, each person plays a selection, and then you get scored, and then you get your chair order, and that changes your part. So first chair and the first few chairs, we're going to get kind of the meatier parts, the more fun parts, and then your second trombones, your third trombones further down, they get into like just basic rhythm. You could just not show up and no one would notice. You know what I mean? So I wanted that, and so I would do pretty well. Because the reason why I kept going from second band to first band is I didn't practice. I enjoyed the marching band. I enjoyed the social aspect of it and playing. I was not a dedicated, I didn't practice at home. I didn't take the instrument home. So I'm in second band, and I'm getting first chair all the time in second band. So on one such occasion, I get first chair. I'm going to get to the fight eventually. I know you're like, you build this as a fist fight, and you're talking about band nerds. I'm getting there, Kano. So on this one occasion, I got first chair, and I played it perfectly with no flaws, the band director said. And so I got a Coke. You get a can of Coke. It was the end of the day, and so I was going to take my can of Coke home with me. I was excited about getting it and showing it off to my mother. So in junior high, after school, me and my buddies would walk from the junior high to my mom's work. She worked at the kindergarten in the district, and we just walked a couple of blocks. Look at Kano. What a punk, dude. We would walk the couple of blocks to my mom's work, and then she would take us home. So on this occasion, I'm walking back with my Coca-Cola Classic. I'm gonna choke to death. I'm sorry. I'm walking back to my mom's work with my buddies after school. Band nerd got a perfect score on his chair test. Didn't pause it. I'm a mess. And this kid comes running by. I hear him running from far away, but I'm kind of ignoring it because I'm talking with my friends. And the three of us all of a sudden realize that he's from behind us. He's running directly toward us. So I spin around, and as I spin around, he's passing me. He grabs a Coke can out of my hand and takes off running. I chase him a couple of blocks. I'm screaming at him, and he's laughing. I did not like this kid. This kid's name was Tom. That's his real name. I don't have good experience with Toms, okay? And this kid was no exception. He had an MC Hammer backpack. Okay. MC Hammer backpack, stole my Coke. He's taking off running. I'm chasing him. My two buddies are behind me, chasing me. Thankfully, this kid is running toward my mother's work anyway, so it's not out of the way. I catch up to him. I was faster than him a little bit. Catch up to him, and I'm just out of reach, and so I grab him from behind. I grab his back, and grab his backpack and pull the top of his backpack down on the ground, right? Finish him. I will in just a minute. Give me a second. I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm not going to be able to do it. So, throw this kid down. My Coke goes rolling, and my buddy goes and gets it for me. And when I pulled the kid down, the backpack had just come off of him, right? So the backpack comes off of him, and he falls kind of funny into this yard. And he's sort of on his chest. He's like laying down flat. And I just like jump on top of him, and I'm just hitting him in the back of the head. No strategy for this. I've never done any boxing before. I've never done any martial arts. I never even had that conversation with my dad, like, here's what happens if you get into a fight with a kid. Nope, no training, no preparation. Never thought this was going to happen in my life. Kid stole my Coke. Band nerd wants his Coke. Hitting him in the back of the head. He's screaming, "Stop hitting me with rocks!" And that's when I realized that we are directly across from my mom's work. And so on top of this guy, I look behind me. My mother is standing in the window. We can see her classroom from where we are. She and the woman who works with her are just standing there staring at this. And not only am I smashing this dude in the back of the head repeatedly, but my buddies have now grabbed his backpack, backpack, grabbed it and torn it open and just started throwing his papers all over the street, getting his textbooks, just ripping the pages out and throwing them everywhere. My mom is watching in horror as all this happens. We can tell she's screaming through the glass. She eventually comes out, and Tom has run off. I have my Coke back, and his backpack, his MC Hammer backpack, kind of deserved that, bro. His MC Hammer backpack is just completely in pieces. My mom is like, what happened? Now, I will say that I had an older half-brother, I mean a couple of them, but I had one older half-brother in particular who was in fights a lot and got in trouble in school a lot. And I had never really been in trouble that much, and so my mom was shocked more than anything, but she was trying to figure out what was supposed to be done here. She said, what are you doing to him? I said, he stole my Coke. She's like, oh, did you get it back? I'm like, yeah. You're like, okay. You didn't break it. You didn't break anything on him, did you? I'm like, I don't think so. He ran off. She's like, oh, okay. Get in the car. And my buddies thought my mom was so cool because she didn't punish me or anything like that. All I wanted was my Coke. Just one Coke. That was the first fight. And honestly, like really kind of my only fight. I mean, there were scuffles over the years, you know, or pushing matches or threats. I remember one of my buddies loved getting in fights, and so I was always like his backup guy. Like we would go off campus so they could fight, and I'd be like, you know, standing in the wings in case some other dude jumped in. That never needed to happen. So it was a really minor thing and kind of a strange thing for me as a kid, getting in a fist fight. But I did get my Coke back. MC Hammer was on the ground. Tom. I was going to say, I wonder how he is today. Don't care. I hope you guys are doing well. All right, that's it. I got to the mirror match. That's pretty good. Couldn't remember that fatality, though. I'm going to have to go back and look. I thought it was block up. Block up? Maybe I was just hitting it wrong. Anyway, between now and the next time I talk to you, I'm Todd. Thanks for being with us.
Finish him. Fatality.
See ya.